Hola estudiantes. This video is going to focus on how to make comparisons, that is, show similarities and differences between things in Spanish. And I really like to use this particular resource for these types of activities. This Spanish Grammar in Context teaches you some grammar, but it shows specific example sentences and it keeps the grammar pretty simple. You don't have to get too caught up in all the rules to learn the language and to know how to do this very well. So right away, there's some expressions to show inequality. And in Spanish, the phrase más que shows ways to say more than. And menos que is less than. For example, aprendieron más el inglés que el español. That translates to they learned more English than Spanish. This can be super helpful, and you can practice using this particular phrase in your language. You can also click on this icon right here, and that pulls up different videos of people using these phrases in example sentences. That can be really helpful for you to listen to the language and see how they are said. Another one is, puedes comprar una casa más grande que si vas a vivir a otro lugar. You can buy a bigger house than if you go to live somewhere else. Más grande is bigger, and más grande que is bigger than. To show equality, similarities, you can use the phrase tan como, and that's like how we use as in English. Here's an example. No te sientes tan seguro como antes. You don't feel as safe as before. Or, me dijo que él nunca había conocido una mujer tan bonita como yo, y que él me quería más que novia, que si quería ser su esposa. Very romantic. That translates, he told me that he had never met a woman as beautiful as me, and that he loved me more than as girlfriend, that if I wanted to be his wife. Something along those lines would be the translation, but the focus there is tan bonita como, like as beautiful as. So there you can just see an example sentence of using that tan como. Next up are superlatives. This is like saying the best, the smallest, the most interesting. So the way that is done in the Spanish language is using the article, like use the word the, and in Spanish it would be el, la, los, or las, and then más o menos before the adjective. Here's a quick example. Harlingen, una de las ciudades más baratas para vivir. Here it's one of the cheapest cities. So you say las ciudades más baratas. That translates to like the city's most cheapest, right? Or the cheapest cities, if we put that into English. Another example could be like peor, and this is when you're talking about when something is the worst. So, eso fue el peor viaje de mi vida porque el barco se movía sin parar. So that was the worst trip of my life because the boat was moving nonstop. El peor viaje. And there you can see the worst. So here's some examples there, and they can be super helpful for you. The last example is, ¿cuál fue el momento más feliz de tu vida? What has been the happiest moment in your life? El momento más feliz, happiest. So there you can see some examples. You can also see some irregulars and how they work in different comparisons, like bueno means good, and then mejor means better. Malo, bad. Peor, worse. Grande, big. Mayor, bigger. Pequeño, small. Menor, smaller. So there you can see some examples, and these are helpful comparatives for your projects, and you'll hear them all the time in the Spanish language now that you've seen them here.